Welcome to Discovering a Wonderful World. So I labeled this video 10 mistakes on your first hike. And I think the first mistake I made was expectations. I mean, I'm 55 years old. I'm not in great shape. And I tried to climb the Guadalupe Peak as my first hike. That's a 6 to 8 hour hike up 3,000 feet basically. And some of that trail isn't even marked. You kind of gotta walk around it. It's not bad, but for your first hike, it is a little bit rough. So I would suggest limiting your expectations and maybe taking a 2 or 3 hour hike on your first hike. Here's number 2. Don't pick the hardest hike at the national park that you're at as your first hike. Not a smart idea. I looked at that list and I thought, hey, that peak's not so high. I can do that. Well, I did almost do it. If I wouldn't have ran out of time, I would have done it. But it would have taken me another hour to go up that last 150 feet. And it would have been dark by the time I got back. So just don't pick the absolute hardest hike in the park where you're at as your first hike. Number 3, and this one's a biggie. Look, start early. Don't start out in the middle of the day. Start early so that you know you have enough time to get back before it gets dark. I started way too late on that hike, and frankly we took a lot of pictures in the early part of it and time got away from me. So this is a big one. Start early. Number 4, whatever you do, don't pack a 40-pound bag and try to do that on your first hike unless you're camping somewhere overnight. Just pack light, a couple bottles of water, and you know, maybe a couple Band-Aids, couple snack bars, something like that. Don't pack a 40-pound bag on your first hike. Was not a smart move. I plan to get one of those hydration bags, and that way I'll have plenty of water. I'll have a little extra storage, but it'll be light and easy to travel with on these hikes, because I plan to do more. It was just difficult carrying that much weight and trying to get up that mountain. The number 5 issue for me, my mistake is I took no food. Now I highly suggest taking some kind of energy bar or beef jerky, something of that nature, to keep up your energy. No food over a 6 to 8 hour period doing a big hike is not going to be a good idea. So make sure you have something with you. My number 6 mistake, too little water. Like, I took 2 bottles of water with me. Small bottles, not real big. And luckily for me, somebody on their way back said, hey, you need some more water? And well, you know, he had a short distance to go, he had plenty, and he asked me, so I said, sure, thank you. And I really appreciated it in the end, because I ran out of water at the end of the day, and without that I'd have ran out of it a lot sooner. And trust me, you need water. So make sure you've got plenty of water for your trip. It's going to be your heaviest thing, but you're going to need the water, especially in a desert area like this. Number 7, fully charge your phone. Don't leave home and have a half-charged phone when you're going out on one of these hikes. Make sure you got a full charge so you're going to get through the whole day. Mine died on the way back down. Anything happens, I got no way to get in touch with anybody. Yeah, obviously there were some places where you couldn't get a signal, but there were a lot of places where you could, and with a dead phone doesn't make a difference. So fully charge your phone. Hey, this would be a great time to push that like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell to see when we're bringing out new videos. My number 8 mistake and tip for you is make sure you bring a flashlight or a headlamp. Preferably a headlamp because it's easier. And you know, I got back pretty late. It could have been a problem. If it would have only been half hour, hour later, it would have been pitch black. And out here in the middle of nature without any light source, trying to navigate these paths on cliff faces, or just the fact that there's animals out here, not a good idea. Make sure you have a flashlight or a headlamp. Stay tuned to the end of this video when you can find out a couple things that I did do right. So if you want to hear about that, please watch to the end. Number 9, I went solo. Well, technically, I didn't go out solo, but I have a 6-year-old. My wife and son went with me for the first part, but look, no 6-year-old's gonna take that kind of hike. So, from that point on, I went solo, and for your first hike, at least, have somebody with you. So, if anything does happen, you know, there's 2 of you, you can at least get help. Also, just to let you know, my wife did the hike a couple days later. She did it with a group of people, and she made it to the top. And so, but she was a little more prepared for it. She'd heard my horror story already on what I did wrong, and it put her in a situation where she didn't make some of those mistakes, and she did fine. So proud of her. She got there. Honestly, I was gonna redo that hike to the Guadalupe Peak today. However, it is super windy out, and I decided that that just wasn't a good idea, because whatever it is down low, it's gonna be much windier, much cooler up top. So sometimes you just gotta use your better judgment. So number 10, we're finally there. My 10th mistake was listening to other people. And not that they were doing anything wrong. In fact, they were absolutely correct. However, I'd ask people along the way, hey, how much further is it? And they'd say, oh, it's about an hour to the top. Well, one thing you got to remember was my first hike. I'm not in great shape. They're hikers. They've done this before. So an hour for them is probably 2 hours for you if you're in my kind of shape. So when you ask somebody something, just expect that they're doing that on their timeline, on what they can do, not what you might be able to do. Remember, that's important. It's all about what you can do. For our first hike, we're gonna try the Guadalupe Peak. We're doing a hike to the top of the Guadalupe Peak up here today. Should be fun. It's about 3,000 feet to the top. Check it out.
And I see the moon.
Do you see the moon, Jess?
Yeah.
That's nice. This is a challenging little walk here in the Guadalupe Mountains. Just across the Texas border.
Yeah.
South of Carlsbad.
Yeah.
It's a national forest.
Yeah.
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 And it is really nice. But it is challenging, especially if you're my age. How is it for you, Jess?
Good.
You like it? You having fun? Great. He's having fun. And we got a long ways to go. Look at that. Woo, that's a long ways. So I don't know if you can see this, but that's our RV all the way down there. And And that's the highway coming through the Guadalupe National Forest. I found a seat. Ah, that's nice. And check out the view. So guys, if you try to make this hike and you're afraid of heights, well, here's where it's going to get a little bit tricky. And by the way, I am afraid of heights. The drops are pretty severe at this point. And the pathway, well, it's not quite as easy as it was before. Let's go do it. Well guys, I'm not moving fast and I'm a little winded, but and obviously I got the rally cap on because this is a little strenuous for your first hike. But I chose it, and so I'm gonna finish it. I still got what seems like just as long as an hour ago to go. See that? That's where I'm going. It just feels like it's the same distance all the time. And it's all uphill. But we'll get there. Anyway, if you're gonna do this hike, just bring plenty of water. That's what I'm saying. Plenty of water. Because it's gonna take you a good 6 hours up and down. And that's if you're going at a good pace. And it's a little strenuous. So be prepared. Guys, here's what I've realized. This may have been too strenuous for a first hike, but I'm gonna make it. Guys, here's something you don't realize, just how big one of these mountains really is. Looking at it from down below, I thought, oh, that's not too bad. This may have been a little tough for my first hike. And 2 hours ago, I thought I was almost to the top. And I'm still climbing. And somebody just told me it's about 45 minutes more to actually get to the top. So, wish me luck, and I'll see you at the top. This is for you, Jess. Never give up. I'm trying. This is tough. Whew. But never give up, Jess. Well, guys, sorry, but it's a failed first hike. The top's right up there. It's not that far, but I'm moving so slow and my legs are wobbly, and I'm just not gonna be able to get there and get back down before dark. I don't want to be on this mountain in the dark. So I'm going back down. But I'll show you the view that I had from here. Hey guys, you can see behind me. That's my RV down there. I know it's a long ways still, but just being able to see it gives me some hope that I can get there while there's still a little bit of light. They say sunsets in about 40 minutes. I can't get there in 40 minutes, but at least I know it's on the way. It's a positive. So I'll see you at the bottom. I decided to show you a little bit of what I'm walking through to try to get there. There's some good parts of the path, and there's some of these parts where it's really rocky and it's just hard to maneuver when you're tired already. See, like down there, there's a nice spot. this part of the turn back isn't so bad. Could even move a little faster through this kind of stuff. And as I get further down, the path gets better. It's worse up higher. I've been drinking a lot of water, but I am lightheaded. You know, if you decide to do this, bring a lot of water. Allow yourself, if it says 6 to 8 hours, allow yourself 10 to 12. If you're overweight, out of shape, older, and it's the first time you've ever hiked, well, you know, is what it is. Anyway, I'll see you at the bottom. Hey guys, I thought I'd give you an update. As you can see, there's not much light left. Sun's already set. I'm maybe 150 feet from the campground. Thank God it's not dark. So, I mean, would not be a good place to be in the dark. Also, my legs are in involuntary spasms right now, but I made it back, and that's really all that matters. And so this may not be the way you want to do your first hike. I can't even talk, but we're safe, we're sound, we're blessed. I'll see you later. Now, with all that said, this is only to hope that you won't make some of the mistakes that I made. Frankly, get out there, do some hiking, have some fun. It's beautiful scenery. You can't beat it. It's great exercise. So don't let anything that happened to me or any of the mistakes I made deter you from getting out there. Just hopefully pick up on a few things and go out there and be a little smarter than I was. Now let me tell you about some of the things that I did correctly. I picked a good pair of hiking boots, comfortable on my feet, supportive. You know, it's important. You're walking for a long time, so make sure you got a good, comfortable pair of hiking boots that support your ankles. All right? I had sense enough to make the decision to come back when I did, instead of risking something that really was unnecessary. Whether I make it to the top or not, I made the effort to get there. I tried hard. I just ran out of time. But had I waited, it may have been after dark when I got back. Anything can happen after dark. I got a wife and a 6-year-old. Too important to me to make those mistakes. So at least I had the common sense to come back when I knew things could have gone badly had I stayed out later. I also asked people, you know, things that they could see I was doing wrong. I told people it was my first hike. And in fact, the next day after this hike happened, one of the gentlemen that I spoke to said that he saw me come down and get out, and I said hi to him on the way out. But he said, look, if you hadn't got back here by dark, I was putting on the headlamp and going back up. I really appreciate that. You know, when he sees this video, thank you once again. And you know, that's the type of good people you find on the mountains. So you just gotta keep moving forward, but have sense to not think that you can just do everything and you don't make mistakes, and you can improve yourself, because you can, just by asking a few people who are more experienced at it what you might be able to do different to make your trip more safe and more enjoyable. Hey, I want to thank you for watching this video. Once again, please like and subscribe. We'll see you next time on Discovering a Wonderful World. And get out there and take a hike and discover the wonderful world for yourself. Enjoy life. Take care and be blessed. Did I mention it's a little windy today? It's a little windy today. And yeah, I do have a pack with me because I don't have the hydration bag yet, but it is packed very light. This thing weighs maybe 5 pounds, 7 pounds, something like that. It's much more manageable.